Hi, it's me, Reidy from Beat the First Man, back with you for episode 58 as we delve into the murky world of football and bring you some light-hearted entertainment, add a little bit of fun, and we bring you some music in the shape of the boys from Nice Guy. So, let's roll the titles, get on with the show. So here we are then, another week of the silliness that is Beat the First Man, and some big news for you. Ted has dropped his treble. The little knob of the week is back. He's had enough of the treble, probably something to do with losing every week. So if you're in football, watch out, he could be gunning for you again. So we can watch out later on, see who wins this week. We've got the guys from Nice Guy are on zooming in, so keep an eye out for that. But hold the front page. It's how old, and it's an Englishman. It's been a long while since we've had an Englishman. So, quite simply how this works, we put a picture of an old footballer. All you have to do is guess how old he was when that photo was taken. So this week it's a winger. He actually started his career in Ireland at Shamrock Rovers under the guidance of Johnny Giles. He made the switch back to England to his native Birmingham. It was from here, however, he got the transfer to the club where he made his name at Leicester City, clocking up 213 appearances and scoring 57 goals. Very impressive return for a wide man, I'm sure you'll agree. He then moved on to West Brom, and then he went west to Wales with Cardiff City as he drew his career to a close. Of course, that is all lovely. What we really want to know is when this photo of Steve Lynex was taken. How old was he? Answer to be revealed later on in the show. So, Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police time. It still doesn't fit very well, does it? Let's be honest. So, our old friend Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police down in the southwest lost last Saturday, bit of a disappointment. But in midweek, wow. So, they were at home against Bovey Tracy, and half time, they were not 1-0 up. No. They were 2-0 up. Yes, 2-0 at half time to the boys from Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police. Looking good, I hear you say. Looking good, Reidy. Yes, you're quite correct. So, the visitors pulled one back, but strap yourselves in, people. Hang on to your hats. Tell your friends. They raced into a 4-1 lead. 4-1? 4-bloody-1? Yes, they did indeed. Bobby Tracy pulled one back, 4-2. No panic here, is there? Nothing to see. Move on. Bobby Tracy pulled another one back, 4-3. Okay, we're still winning. Nothing to worry about. It's all good. Last 10 minutes now, it's in the bag. 4-4. For fuck's... How has that happened? A controversial linesman flag denied a potential winner in the last few minutes as well. The boys for Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police. But a 4-4 draw, and we're on to 4 points for the season. Let's remember where we've come from. 0. And we're now on 4. Can we get that elusive second win? But a 4-4 draw, so entertainment for the crowd down there, and not good for my Twitter finger doing that. As we refresh, trying to see the full-time whistle. The ultimate kick in the teeth would have been a 5-4 defeat, but thankfully it didn't come to that. So earlier on the week I caught up again with Kian as we discussed our fantasy football weekend. So without further ado, here's Dad v Lad. Fantasy football. So another fantasy football Dad v Lad. Kian, how are we?
I'm not too bad.
What new music are you going to push our way this week? After last week, we called Lathams to number 1. What are we going for this week?
You've caught me with the T-shirt on, the Inhaler T-shirt. So go and listen to their album.
So there we go. Our music correspondent, Kian, says go and listen to Inhaler. And they are pretty good, to be fair. And did you stand next to Bono?
No, I stood next to his son.
Okay. Do you know who Bono is now?
I know who he is. I still don't know what he looks like.
Oh, unbelievable. Anyway, the real reason you're on Fantasy Football Dad v Lad. Yeah. Let's have a look at the score from last week. So, Dad, 42.
Yeah.
Lad, 37.
It was a poor week.
2 weeks running.
2 weeks running. The gap is closing. So the gap now in the league table is only 26 points.
It's getting nervy now, isn't it?
Wow, it's getting tight, isn't it? So let's have a look at last week's points then. So who was your star man for last week?
Well, he played on Sunday against City and Salah. He got me 13 points.
Yeah, I had the same with Salah. I got Vardy, got me 8 as well, to be fair, which probably was the difference.
Yeah.
Because the rest of them, to be honest with you, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. Although Rafinha got me 6 because he was my vice captain.
Oh, he got me 3.
So I did get 6 for Rafinha. So, yeah, so 42. The highest scorer last week in the league, just to add a bit of fun to it, got 102 points.
I thought everyone had a terrible week.
Right, so this was his team from last week. So he had Meslier in goal.
Yeah.
So he got 6 points. He had Taylor, Lindelof and Azpilicueta. So he got 21 for those 3.
Yeah.
He had Son of Tottenham,
El
Yunusi, Foden and Salah, and he triple captained Salah. So he got 39 points for Salah.
It's a bold move doing that against City, isn't it?
Yeah. And then he had Dobbin, whoever he is, Iheanacho and Vardy up front. And Iheanacho and Vardy both scored. So 102 points. So looking at the league table, so you are now sitting in 12th place, 403 points. You are only now 91 points off the leader.
I'm not sure I'm going to claw that back.
Well, he sprinted off at the start, but he's getting clawed back now. Everyone's beginning to reel it in a little bit. So I am in 21st place. I can't get off 21st place, which is driving me mad. I'm on 377 points. Bottom of the table is 262. So we're well clear of the relegation zone, which is the plus
that's
point.
Fine.
The good thing is for you, Kean, this week, there's no defeat for you this week. Why is there no defeat for you this week?
The international break.
The international break. So there's no defeat. How disappointing for us. So just look, one last thing about last week's then. So if you had the choice now of players that you were going to get rid of for your next game, who would you be dumping?
Yeah. Are we just going off last week or are we just
just going off last week? Player that let you down most last week.
Oh, there's a few. Diaz, he got 0 because he got booked. Lukaku let me down because I captained him. And then the hero of like the whole week forever, Antonio, got 2 points.
Well, I've decided already someone's getting dropped. I'm calling it now. Grealish is gone.
I've gone the opposite. I've already made him my captain for the week after.
He's gone. He's getting done. He's doing nothing. He's doing absolutely nothing. A waste of
Yeah,
time. They were better when he went off.
They got Burnley.
Yeah, but they were better when he went off.
I think he'll click on.
I'll get another City midfielder in instead.
I'm giving him a week. He can have one more week.
Right, so we'll be back next week with our team selections then, Kean. Obviously, there'll be no points to review because it's international weekend. Any tips for the international weekend, Kean?
No, not really.
No, I'll give you a tip now.
Scotland.
Scotland to avoid defeat, which is all we need to do.
Yeah,
a 0-0 Steve Clark masterclass incoming. Right, so Kean, for now, we'll see you next week. And for now, it is back to the show.
So for the second week running, it's a win for me. And somebody is getting a little bit worried. I think the international break has come at just the right time for him. It's also come at the right time for Gary Hamilton and his Carjal Warriors. He's getting reeled in at the top. The gap has closed for the last 3 weeks. Early season form. Class will always rise at the end. I'm going to make a late surge to the title. Can feel it coming. New person down the bottom, Elvis Chatawa has been replaced. Trisha Barrett is now bottom of the table with a waiter's waifs at 1 point behind Elvis Chatawa. So international break this weekend, so there'll be no points this weekend. Anyway, he's back. Everybody's favourite teddy bear. How are we, Ted, mate? You alright? Alright, now I can get bloody fuel again. I'm glad the walking crisis is over for you, Ted. I can't lie. I'm worried though, Reidy. Ted, what are you worried about? Turkey. Turkey? What? The country? Fancy going on holiday or something? You know that red list shit's all changed now, isn't it? It's complete. Not the bloody country, you idiot. The bird for Christmas dinner. I mean, have you heard the rumours? No, Ted, just no. This is how all this bollocks about the fuel started in the first place. One man makes a comment and all the dickheads flock to the petrol station, and before you know it, there's no fuel. Now, if the millions of viewers watching this hear about the turkey, millions of viewers, Reidy, I'm not being funny, all of our viewers wouldn't get a queue in a two-man shop. Okay, that's fair. So if the couple of people watching this decide to go and panic buy turkeys, that's not going to work, is it? Anyway, I understand that you're bringing back the Little Knob of the Week award. You've dropped the treble. Yes, Reidy, I cannot condone betting. Hang on a second, you've been doing it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been losing. Yeah, is that why you're stopping, or because you can't condone betting? I've seen the error of my ways. Back to the Little Knob of the Week. So you've seen the error in the ways for betting, you're going to go back to slaughtering somebody in football for an error or a mistake. Correct, Reidy. Move on, let's get on with it. Okay, so we won't have any nominations because it's the first week back. So who was your winner? Easiest one ever, and it's a man in black. Ah, Will Smith. No, you dickhead. It was a referee. Step forward, Mr. Paul Tierney. Ah, yes, Ted. Thanks for the dickhead reference as well. Very nice. Mr. Paul Tierney. So, the Liverpool-Man City game last week, we'd all watched it. Cracking second half. I'm not buying that it was a fantastic game. The second half was amazing. But the first half, it was all right. Anyway, Foden broke through. Milner pulled him down. No free kick given. No VAR check. Should have been a yellow. Got away with one there, James. Well done. Putting out there now, I love James Milner. Leeds boy, Leeds fan. Love to see him back at the club. But, you know, he should have been booked for that one. He then did get booked before half-time, so technically he should have been sent off before half-time. But he got away with one. He dodged a bullet. 15, 20 minutes to go with the score at 1-1. Foden's breaking clear. Milner's clearly knackered, and he just sticks out a lazy leg and pulls him down to save him breaking clear. Easiest yellow of the day. But wait, no. Mr. Tierney had other ideas. Absolutely bugger all. Just a free kick. Nothing else. Bizarre decision. The easiest yellow he'd have had to give this season, to be honest. So, Paul Tierney, congratulations, my friend. Ted brings back the Little Knob of the Week, and you are, without a shadow of doubt, this week's winner. Paul Tierney, Little Knob of the Week. So, Ted, are you back for how old the reveal later? Yes, really, of course I am. The bloke that sells the crisps, yeah? No, Ted, no. It's Steve Linex. You say Linex, I say Lineker. Okay, Ted, whatever. See you later on in the show. Anyway, the road to Wemberlee. So, as you know, it was FA Cup week last weekend. Our boys from AFC Dunstable were in action, entertaining Peterborough Sports. They had a horror start. They were 3-0 down at home to Peterborough Sports, the team from a higher league in fairness. But credit to the boys from Dunstable. They put a hell of a fight up. They got it back to 3-2, but they couldn't find the equaliser. So Peterborough Sports progressed to the fourth qualifying round, and it's them that we now back. So on Monday, this draw was made, and they got an away tie at conference side Kings Lynn Town. So a real tough ask, but you never know. The magic of the FA Cup. Pulls flowers from pocket. So let's see what happens with Peterborough Sports. And it is this week FA Trophy week. So you may remember the boys from Dustin UTS. They got through in the last round, knocking out Worksop. They travel to Workington this week, them of the flyaway footballs and their name printed on it. So the FA Trophy is back in action. There is one thing for sure you can guarantee with this segment of the show, and that is we are on the road to Wemberlee, Wemberlee. We're the famous BTFM and we'll go to Wemberlee, Wemberlee. Famous? Yeah. Some people know I am. Anyway, let's have a bit of this.
Lookalike EE.
Ah yes, Lookalike EE, where we find a footballer who may well just look like somebody else in the public eye. This week we've gone for a Belgian footballer and a Hollywood film star, meeting as one. So, when he wasn't for starring for Arsenal and Belgium back in the day, how many people knew that Thomas Vermaelen was actually appearing in Hollywood movies? So this week's
Lookalike EE.
Yes, it was Thomas Vermaelen and Jude Law. That's a pretty good one, I'm not going to lie. More in-depth looks at footballers and who they look like action to come very soon. So we're back with Zooming In again this week, and this week I was joined by the boys from Teeside based band Nice Guy. A right mix of football loves at Middlesbrough, Swansea, Man United, and one who didn't actually particularly like football. He was meh about it, to be honest, but fair play, he came on the show. We talk about their music, we talk about their collaborations. There is also a clip of the boys in action after the chat, so be sure to tune in for that. But for now, here's Zooming In with me and Nice Guy.
Welcome to another Zooming In, and tonight I'm delighted we're joined by another band. And look at this plethora of people on my screen. It is the gents from Nice Guy. We will go all the way around. We've got Paddy, keys and a Swansea fan.
Hello.
We've got Matty, drums and a Middlesbrough fan.
Hello.
Michael, singer, guitar and a Middlesbrough fan.
Hello.
Chris, bass, who really doesn't want to talk about football.
Hello.
And last but not least, Josh, lead guitar and a Man United fan.
Oh, I know. Sorry,
don't worry. We'll come on to that, my friend. Don't you worry. So after that long-winded introduction, how are we all, gents?
Very good. Very good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, so I start with the obvious question. And yeah, if you ever watch my show, I do like the state the bleeding obvious. It's how we roll. So are you all nice guys?
Depends who you ask, really.
Probably, would you say is a night?
Now, you see, my next question is who's the nastiest guy?
Oh,
the nastiest guy.
Yeah,
that's good for me. When I get through
depends what kind of mood he's in, doesn't it?
I do like the fact you volunteered yourself, Michael. That's quite impressive work.
Oh, a bit of
So, gents, there will be people out there who don't know about Nice Guy, don't know what you do, don't know what you're about. So the sales floor, as they say, is yours. Tell the watching public what you're about and go for it.
Anyone want to take it?
You go.
Yeah, you, Michael.
So we're a 5-piece band from Teeside. We've been going about 3 years. Josh and Paddy have joined fairly recently. We play like a brand of indie rock that's verging on like alternative, and it's something that we've been working on our sound for quite a while. Well, for the last year or so, obviously with the lockdowns and stuff like that, we've just been trying to build our sound and gain a bit of traction. We've had good reviews from gigs we've played, and got about 3 singles out we've got?
Yeah, 3, yeah. Plus B-sides as well.
3 singles out, all on Spotify and all your platforms, and yeah, just do it for the love of music. Do it for the love of beer.
Look,
What we
great
have heard
honesty.
it more.
Now, it's interesting you say that you're quite an alternative in your back. Like, my music expertise comes to trying to compare you to other artists. That's what I do with everybody that comes on. I don't have an expertise. You were very, very difficult, and I've had to mold you into 3 different people to get what I think is the closest I could give you. So I'll start with Lou Reed. There's a bit of Lou Reed.
I like that.
About some
I'll
of
take
it.
that.
A bit of Placebo.
I'll take that. This is good. This.
Yeah, that's right.
And a bit of The Doors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get that from the keys
The
for
organ.
the Hammond organ. Yeah.
I think so. If I pulled those 3 together, that was as close as I could get to comparing you to someone. It's a wicked sound. It's very, very different from anything else that's out there in reality.
It's probably a result of those things, really. It's like myself coming in on keys, Josh coming in on lead guitar after sort of Mike, Chris, and Matt had already been in the band with previous members and stuff. So yeah, it's probably brought a different sound to it, and we're a bit of a hodgepodge, really. We kind of, between us, we like quite a lot of different stuff, don't we? So it probably just comes out in the sound, really. I guess that's probably the same for any band, really.
Yeah. I think Placebo fans would love you. I think anyone who's a big fan of Placebo, I think they'd be all over this. I sat and listened quietly last night and listened to all the tracks on Spotify, and it was the first one that came to my head was Placebo. So you've got that kind of, there's that little the moody edge to it, but it's wicked. It's good stuff.
I love it when people come up with ones like that.
If by some miracle Placebo are listening,
Support.
Well, we'll come on to that question in a minute as well.
What's left of the doors?
Well, the doors might be stretching it.
He's brown bread and he's Jim Morrison.
Well, I know.
So one thing I have noticed from social media, obviously you guys are back out performing live gigs again. But how good is it to be back out performing live gigs?
Oh, it's unreal, isn't it? It's
It's been so unreal.
I'd say you don't realise how good it is until you've had such a long layoff, to be honest with you. And what we've done since we come back, it's just been unreal just to get back into it. You don't realise how much you do miss it, to be honest, when you're not doing it.
Yeah. Do you think audiences are more into it now than they perhaps were prior to this?
I think they were at the start. I think they were at the start. I think there's going to be a time when I think the novelty. I think a lot of people, what we noticed from our local area, a lot of promoters are putting on gigs. There's gigs 3-4 times a week, just locally. Like if you think of any volume, putting on sort of Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, people are putting on all days, like left, right, and centre. I think people are just putting loads and loads of gigs on because there's that hunger for it, which I think will probably subside back into what it was like, pre-COVID. But I think initially there is, but I think that will probably die down a bit. But
yeah. So, well, I mean, I've got 3 weeks' time. I'm going to Kasabian, which will be my first gig since COVID. And although it's not going to be the same Kasabian, because obviously there's someone missing that has been there prior to it.
Yeah.
I mean, A, it'll be interesting to see what they're like without him. But B, I cannot wait to get back into live music. Genuinely cannot wait. And because it'll be the first one since lockdown that I've been to, that buzz is higher than probably ever before going to see anyone else. And they're not my favourite band by any stretch of the imagination, but I cannot wait just to set foot inside that anticipation.
Sorry to cut off there, but who's fronting them?
I'm presuming it's going to be Surge, but they've not really said anything. Now, there's a little part of me, and if you are watching Boys from Kasabian, and we do live in Leicester, that Tom's made up with the young lady, hasn't he? And they've got married.
So, really?
Oh, they got married.
So if they can make up,
they were okay, really, weren't they? Yeah.
Surely, if they can make up, the band can make up.
Well, I didn't. That's a bit of a.
Yeah, it was very much a shock, I think.
I mean, he was absolutely pariahed and everything, wasn't he? And rightly so, I guess, for what he did. But so then,
we shall see. So, if you had to cover one song, if you were doing a gig tomorrow, and the promoter says you've got to cover one song that's not your own, what would be your go-to cover song?
As a band or individually?
As a band.
Wow.
I think Josh wants to "Give Me Some Lovin'" because I broke into it on the organ. You know that kind of organ part at the start of "Give Me Some Lovin'," which has been used on every song. I broke into it one practice, and I think Josh wants to cover that, don't you?
Yeah, I'll do it to
There you go, Josh. Get it in the next set list.
It's like a cheeky sound check, and I was stood at the front, and then I just heard this noise like, "Oh, just give me some loving." It's Paddy doing it. I thought that'd be great. I mean,
it's always
challenging vocally, but
it's a difficult one vocally. It's just a story about it's always dangerous to do that in a gig. I once played a gig, and our lead guitarist from band years ago broke into "All Right Now" by Free. And the kind of audience just flocked to the front. They were kind of bored by our original stuff, and they flocked to the front, and they were kind of looking at us going, "Please play this." And we were like, "Oh no, sorry, the rest of us don't actually know it. Here's so and so." Like they all just went, "Oh." So you got to just be careful when you promise them too much. Like if I break into that organ piece, eventually everyone's going to go, "Oh," and then I'm going to disappoint them. Like so, we either best learn it or I'll stop doing it before gigs.
Right, so. This is the musical little choice thing now. So you can have one each on this one. I don't make you do it as a band. So if you could collaborate with one artist, dead or alive, who would you go for?
Individually?
Yeah. Take it. Michael, you go first. You're top left on my screen.
One artist. Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie is a funny one.
I absolutely love Lionel Richie. I remember I used to go on holiday to Seaton and Carew, and there's an out there It's just like a beach and that's it. Miserable. But I had like a Lionel Richie CD and I used to put it on all the time. I was like, he's classic. And it's never changed.
Richie.
He seems
Brilliant.
like he's class, yeah.
Paddy?
Probably Lou Reed. I just like the idea of just playing the same one chord for about 20, 30, 40 minutes or so. And just that'll do. That's not collaborating. It's just like, what you're going to play, A. Right, okay, let's go. So, yeah, Lou Reed.
Yeah, Matty?
It's a tough one, to be fair. Something completely different to what we do. I don't know, alive or dead.
Alive or dead, doesn't matter.
Buddy Holly, maybe. I mean, going way back because it still stands up today. Unbelievable stuff. So, yeah. Buddy Holly.
Okay, Chris.
Probably for me, I'd say Creedence Clearwater Revival. I think, like, just as a group, because I was like raised on a lot of their music. My dad had them on CD, and I've been recently getting back into a lot of the music from that era. So I think I just really enjoy just playing with them, to be honest.
I literally saw them 2 days ago in the Clooney in Newcastle. There's two new members of the band, and they've got the bassist and the drummer from the original band. They're all in the 70s now, going around and playing it. When Bad Rising came on, everyone just pushed to the front. It was incredible.
Last but not least, Josh.
Well, I'm always difficult where one day I can say something different. Like, I've just got a really diverse music taste, but I'll say what I've been into recently. I've been on a Thin Lizzy kick. So probably Phil Lynott himself, or I don't know if you could do the band, but I think as a front man and just a figure in rock music, just an incredible figure he was. So he'd been an interesting character as well. So I'll just say for what I've been listening to recently, Phil Lynott or Lynott.
Right. Now, here's where we make it more difficult. So, you get the choice to collaborate with your chosen artist, but the day after, you never play music again. What do you do?
Nah. Mine's dead anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Sorry, Sir Lionel. Nah.
Yeah.
If you're watching Lionel Richie.
If we were to play with Buddy Holly, probably just, what is this garbage that you're coming out with? So it's just embarrassing anyway, to be honest. So
it'd be like that scene out of Back to the Future where he starts to play Johnny B. Good, wasn't it? And everybody in the 50s is like, what the hell is this? Be like that.
Kids will love it though.
Yeah.
Which leaves us still with only one band who have said they would fold the next day. So they went for a collaboration with Nirvana. And they said, literally, if they'd have had that opportunity, they would have folded the next day in an instant. So they're still the only one that said it. Everyone else has said, nah, I'm sticking with it.
I'd probably play 90,000. I'd probably play 90,000 Wemberlee full and then fold the next day, because you couldn't really get any better than that anyway. Or Nebworth or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like if I did something like that, I'd probably jack it all in the next day.
Fair enough. Right, let's get on to football. So we've got a right old fashioned mix. We've got Middlesbrough, we've got Swansea, we've got Man United, and we've got Not Arsed in the top right-hand corner. He likes football. You're not bothered by football, but you're not that into it, Chris, are you?
They're in the third division.
Not that into it. Well, I mean, I suppose I'm going to learn something just listening on it. So, I'm here to
this nonsense.
Yeah, I'm here to be educated.
So we're going to start with Matty and Michael. So, Middlesbrough fans, how are you enjoying the free-flowing passing game that is Mr. Warnock?
We're the best people to ask, because I'm what I'd call quite pessimistic Borough fan.
Excellent.
And that is literally the most positive Borough fan I have ever
deludedly optimistic, I'd say.
It will not turn on any manager whatsoever.
Or even Warnock.
Even Strachan.
Strachan. I turned on Strachan. Don't worry about that.
I think with Warnock, we're just killing time this season. It just seems like we're just waiting for the season to end. Like, it's another roll of the dice, because he's not going to go on too much longer.
Yeah.
We've got all these players in. It's not working, and he doesn't seem bothered. And it seems like quite a sad way for him to go out. But, like, if there's anybody who can pull off a charge late in the season when all hope is gone, it's probably him. Yeah. So just have to grin and bear hoof ball again, don't we? Hit the channels. None of that round the back. Hit the channels, lads.
I mean, when the season started from the transfer window that we had, I think, what was it, like 11 players we brought in, 11, 12 players, Mike? And I was really quite optimistic we could make the playoffs, like give them time to bed in. A couple of players coming from, well, Argentina, Piero, give them time to bed in, and then you never know what could be happening. But the way we're going at the moment, we had a good result last Tuesday against Sheffield United at home. We beat Sheffield United, one of the big boys in the league.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we go back up at the weekend with just a miserable loss against Hull. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not writing us off yet. You never know. The season, what we only 7 games in. Here I am. Only 7 games in or something, is it? I mean, it's not right.
We've won 10 games in 36, and Matt's like, yeah, we're going to get promoted.
Michael's got his countdown clock on for next season. You're still optimistic.
Yeah, deluded, like I said.
So, Paddy, moving on to Swansea. Obviously, Mr. Cooper has moved on to pastures new. It's another new man in charge in Russell Martin. So, what's the outlook like in South Wales for the season?
I think most of the fans like that we've made that change, even though Cooper had got us to a playoff semi-final and then a playoff final in 2 years with, apart from Andre Ayew, a kind of very cheap squad. Andre Ayew's now moved on. Martin's come in, but I think our fans have been, because we kind of started the whole passing football in this country since Roberto Martinez in mid-2000s came in, and our fans would rather just watch free-flowing pass. They'd rather watch like us pass everybody to sleep rather than go and win games the ugly way, which is what kind of Cooper tried to do. He tried to defend quite a lot. It's working. It's not far off. It's just a little bit, I don't know. Our board are we've got these Americans in charge now. We're not the fan-owned club that we once were, and they seem to think they basically, their aim every season is, let's see if we can survive with as little outlay as possible, and sort of see how far it can take us. So we've got we beg, steal, borrow, loan players in. We're playing very nice football. We're just lacking a bit, I think.
Yeah.
We're lacking our spine. We managed to hold on to Matt Grimes, who was a target for you guys, I think, once. He was supposed to go to Fulham.
Well, we had him on loan. And I would go, if you forced me to pick my worst ever Leeds United 11, he would be in it. Based on the season he had with us, because he was shocking with us. And I know you guys love him, don't you? You guys rate him how good he is. But honestly,
he's kind of...
He's
that kind of Leon Britton, Joe Allen player that we had, where he sort of sits in the middle of the midfield and passes the ball 5 yards. But we kind of like that kind of player. But we kept hold of him. We've got a new keeper in. We've lost we lost Mark Gahey. He went to Palace. But we managed to keep Cabango. Anyone we get, we obviously lost Connor Roberts as well, who's gone to Burnley. So we anyone who's worth pennies, we'll just flog them.
Get sold on.
Yeah, and not really replace them. We'll just replace them with loan signings and stuff. So I don't know. It's hard to get excited at the moment. The football's good to watch, but I don't know. I can see just mid-table obscurity. I can't see us pushing for promotion again this season.
No.
It
just leaves young Josh and Man United. Nah, Josh.
Should I leave?
I'll be kind. So, Mr. Ronaldo has returned to the club. So now that the actual buzz of him joining has calmed down and we can all turn Sky Sports News back on again, and there's another story, is he going to help bring a trophy to Old Trafford? Because let's face it, Solskjaer, he's now had 15 attempts at winning a trophy and won nothing. Is he going to be the difference to actually bring a trophy back to Old Trafford?
Well, it was evident through, even if you take something like Sky Sports News, he was having the effect on the squad itself. It was just something as daft as dietary reasons. Like, I think he said, not to eat the puddings or something in the cafeteria, some daft crap like that. But he's got so many examples of that winning mentality. I don't think it is going to happen this season. And then obviously, if it's not going to happen this season, how long has Ronaldo got anyway? Even his mother wants him back at Lisbon to end his career. So, I think he might not even be at United for the end of his career, which I wanted that to be the case. But Sporting Lisbon would be the romantic thing for Ronaldo, wouldn't it? I guess to go back to where it literally started.
I mean, the one thing that you don't have to worry about, we will give him a warm welcome at Ellen Road when he comes to us in April. Don't you worry. We'll make sure he knows he's back in the country.
A warm welcome means a kick in the knee or something.
Oh, he might get off that lightly.
From like an outside just from an outside perspective, like, because obviously, but like trying to relate to Middlesbrough and what's happening there, and like Mike and Matt trying to relate to what's happening in Swansea, but you just sort of don't know that much. But with Man United, everybody knows what's going on. Do you think he's bitten off more like they can chew, bringing in the amount of quality attacking players that he has?
Yeah, well, I saw the other day that joint with City, it's the most expensive squad in Europe. But that's second most expensive. That's fair enough, but at least you can look at City and say, well, they're doing a job with it, whereas it's just so ropey at United at the moment. And that, there was a result against like Leeds and Newcastle, and then that's it. I think the rest have been some pretty dodgy performances, and I don't know. Solskjaer just makes some odd decisions, and I watch a lot of. They're called Stretford Paddock on YouTube. They've got their own channel, and they always do the fan interviews outside Old Trafford at the end. And, so many fans are just I don't know, picking things like stop playing Fred Solskjaer. Seriously, stop playing him. I thought I'd seen some good things from Fred. Not too many good things, mind, but I was like, he's not that bad. But there's just like when he tried shoving Damari Gray at the weekend, it was just like he just looks like a kid that's just trying to make his dad proud of him, but he's not good enough. Sort of thing. So sorry, if there's any Fred fans or I don't know how likely that is. But just things like that. And the Donny van der Beek situation is heartbreaking because now it's looking like, has he released a statement or he wants to push a move? Something about Everton. It just doesn't make any sense. The effort they went through to get him, and then he's had this bad treatment, really, isn't it? So
he's.
I'm not Ollie out. I'm not Ollie out, but there's definite flaws.
Sancho looks lost as well. Jadon Sancho.
That's another one. That's a year-long effort to get him signed, and then
he looks lost.
There's always been one of them in the past few years. Like you think of the train wreck that was Alexis Sanchez, and Memphis Depay. There's always that attacking position, and it just real high promise, and then they're just where's the performances from them. So the big bucks doesn't really always mean
I think they've tried to go for that. They've tried to go the Real Madrid route, haven't they? They've tried to go for the old Galacticos and fill it with like this attacking stream of players. But actually, the bleeding obvious thing to me is a central defensive midfielder, and I don't think you've got McTominay's a good box to box lad. Fred is, like you said, he's all right, but is he a Man United CDM? Probably not.
No.
They're crying out for one, really. But if you think Phillips is coming anywhere near, you've got another thing coming.
Anyway, I saw a rumour, but that ain't happening. He's died hard, isn't he? He's died hard.
The biggest family had let him. Anyway, gents, the bit that we look forward to, the five-a-side team. So the disadvantage with being a band is that you're only allowed one team between you and you can't have one each. So you have to come on an agreement. Now, I know for a fact that there's been an argument about a goalkeeper. And I have to say, one person's goalkeeper against the other person's goalkeeper. If you've gone for the one that you might have gone for, I'm going to argue the case for the other one. They both begin with S.
Big Nev.
I
know you've been
Big
arguing.
Nev. Yeah, big Nev Southall for me. Is this who we've seen live in the flesh as well?
Yeah, so you have to have seen him live in the flesh. That's the only rules.
Yeah,
Seen him live in the flesh. One goalie, one defender, two midfielders, and one striker. So who have we got between the sticks?
I'd go with Van der Sar in goal. Van der Sar was just incredible.
I saw Van der Sar.
Yeah, he was like, he had everything, didn't he? Like he could use his feet, he'd get a shots that he shouldn't be able to get to, and he'd command his box, everything you wanted in a goalkeeper. And I think Man United have probably suffered with goalkeepers since he's gone, because here has good seasons, like he'll have good moments, but he seems to
have been bad for a while, hasn't he? Since the Madrid links, he's been bad.
So it's not between Schwarzer and Southall then.
I'm not letting go Schwarzer every time. I'm not listening to any of this. The man is a beautiful man. He got us into Europe for the second season that we were in Europe by saving Robbie Fowler's penalty in the 89th minute at the City of Manchester Stadium. What a beautiful time.
Yeah, but this was pre-money though.
Right. The disappointing thing is, gents, on Zoom we only get 40 minutes, so we have to whistle through the five-a-side team. So we go in Van der Sar.
Yeah, because that'll kind of go between Schwarzer and Southall. So go on.
Right. So Van der Sar is. Who are we going for the defender?
Maldini.
Have you seen Maldini?
Oh God, no, I haven't yet.
Oh man,
I was going to say. Good deal.
Oh, you know the trip that I went on to Italy in 2006.
The best defender I think I've probably seen will be Jaap Stam. So if anyone's got any better than that.
Oh, this is United Legends.
Yeah, I saw him.
We're not coming on a Leeds podcast and doing a full team of Man United. I'm not having it.
This won't upload.
Yeah, I'll go Jaap Stam. No, I don't think I've seen anyone better.
All right, Jaap Stam it is. So you got two midfielders. If Juninho's not one of the two, I'm going to be fuming.
Juninho is one of
He's got to be.
Got to be one of the two.
I'll concede it. Yeah, I've got to concede it. I'm banded to Borough fans. So as Borough fans, how good was Juninho?
I'd say we probably both missed out on his absolute peak. Yeah. Would you say, Mike? We both missed out on his absolute peak, but the way that he's spoken about around here, and everybody who remembers him, and then we got to see him again in two other spells afterwards. Fair enough, he might not have had the magic that he originally had, but yeah.
I remember going.
He's got to be in there.
Like I must have been like about 8 with our dad, and he's the only player I've ever seen in the Riverside Stadium that when he got the ball, everybody just stood up.
Yeah.
Something was gonna happen, and all the time it happened. He would just glide past people like they weren't there. I've never seen anybody like him. No. Incredible.
Brilliant player. So who are you having alongside him?
George Boateng.
Yeah, that's who I've got as well.
Oh God. I've seen Hadji. He was fantastic. Georgie Hadji.
What a player.
Yeah, I saw him I was at the Romania game in '93 when we went clubboarding at the bar. We failed to qualify for the USA '94. Though that was the game we failed to qualify, and in Romania qualified instead of us, and he was brilliant. I was only 10 at the time, but he was just phenomenal. Hadji.
Oh, fantastic player. Of course, his son now playing for Glasgow Rangers as well.
Is he? I didn't realise that.
Yeah, Yanis Hadji plays for Rangers, so being sold to an English club sometime soon, to be sure. So we'll go Hadji.
He's only slightly better than Boateng, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's probably not lying it. So the golden position. Who's getting the number 9 shirt for your five-a-side team?
Lee Trundle. My mate saved a penalty for him at the weekend. He's still playing. He's about 45, 46. He's playing Welsh League football, and my mate saved a penalty for him on the weekend. So, but no,
he's still doing the celebration.
Do you know what? He probably is. We didn't celebrate that because my mate saved the penalty. But he got brought on when he was about 42, 43. He got brought on to waste time in injury time of a game, and in that injury time, he scored a hat trick.
Brilliant.
And the team he was playing for, they were 1-0 up, and they were trying to waste time, and he scored 3 in injury time. But I tell you this much, right? If he hadn't liked the drink and the food, he would have been top half Premier League, probably Champions League team. He was that good. but we won't put him in because I've also seen Ronaldo. So
yeah, probably the best I've seen with like at his peak was Fernando Torres. He was just he ripped us apart. Like he came to the Riverside. I think he scored a hat-trick past us, and he looked world class. Like the best striker I've ever seen in the flesh.
Prime Torres was scary.
Yeah.
So we're going Torres or Ronaldo?
Two Man United heavy.
Torres,
So
Train.
Yeah,
we'll go
Torres.
Torres.
The Man U one.
We're going Torres.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got Van der Sar, Stam, Juninho, Hadji, Torres. It's not a bad five-a-side team, gents, is it? Let's be honest.
It wouldn't be us, like, but yeah.
Well, no, obviously.
Taking the part, to be
That
honest.
was George Boateng.
Well, I mean, you can have him on the bench.
Midfielder's got a bit of snap about them. Like
I'll sneak a photo of him. At some stage in this weekend show, it will flash up a picture of George Boateng. I won't go say where. It's just going to flash up.
Oh, please.
As a tribute to you two. There you go. I'm going to write it down so don't forget. Right. At some point in the show, it will flash up for about 3 seconds. Right. Gents, thank you so much for coming on. You've been good fun. You've been a good laugh.
Yeah,
People watching, go and download their music. Spotify, all the usual places. They're called Nice Sky. Some brilliant music. If you like Placebo, genuinely, you'll be all over these boys. You'll love it. And where can people see you next if they want to see you live, guys? Just quickly before we go.
Well, we've got a gig on the 15th of this month with Avalanche Party at the West Garth in Middlesbrough. And then after that, the next one is Songs for Northern Britain at the Georgian Theatre. That's on the 20th of November. And then other than that, we're open to offers.
Yeah.
Carol singing in Middlesbrough Shopping Centre.
Exactly.
Yeah. With Bernie Slavin selling his books. Outside Prime now. We'll be singing.
That's a
with
great
his five-a-side goal.
Yeah.
What a way to end, Paddy. Brilliant. Gents, thank you so much. And for now, from Nice Guy, from me, Reidy, it's back to the show. There we have it then. Lee Trundle, George Boateng. I mean, there was some great names thrown in the ring there, wasn't there, for the team? But a seriously good fun chat with those guys. They were classic. So now, as we always say, do them the honour. They've given up the time for us. Do them the honour of going and listening to their tunes and downloading some of their music. Because it's pretty decent. And like I said, if you like Placebo, you'll love them. Fill in the comments down below. Is my Placebo, The Doors, and Lou Reed eclectic mix the right call? Tell me what you think. So, it's the big hammer time. Oh yes. And let's head to Belarus. No thanks, I hear you say. No thanks, Reidy. Who said that? Well, we are going there anyway. The boys of Torpedo Zdeno, who are entertaining FC Smorgon. Now, I mean, this is educational shit. Who knew those two names were football team names? Not me, that's for certain. Anyway, comfortable first half for the boys from Torpedo. They raced into a 4-0 lead at half time, and 3 goals in 5 minutes around the hour saw them leading 7-0 with 28 minutes to go. So, surely we're going to get a record score for hammer time. I mean, are we going to get 9, 10, 11? Well, no. The boys from Smorgon dug in. They actually pulled one back with 8 minutes to go, leaving a bit of a sweaty finish for the boys from Torpedo. Remember, they need the 6-goal deficit to qualify. But hang on, they did, despite Smorgon throwing everything at them for a 7-1 win. So, Torpedo, Zdeno, you will be the hammer. Smorgon, you will be the chair. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Torpedo, Zdeno, hammer time.
That's brilliant, isn't it? A blow-up hammer, a chair, whacking the crap out of it, and doing a shit MC Hammer impression at the end. Awesome. Who else gives you this shit on their TV screen? Let's be honest. So, with Ted coming back, it can only mean one thing. It's time for How Old the Reveal. So, Ted, are you getting it right this week? Yeah, the fella that does the crisps advert. No, Ted, it's not Gary Lineker. I'm sorry, Reidy, that is definitely him. Have you ever seen him and Lineker in the same place at the same time? Ted, they literally shared the same football pitch many a time for Leicester City. Yeah, but was it really him, or was it a doppelganger? Fuck's sake, Ted. Okay, anyway, come on, let's have your incorrect guess. Well, he's been doing Match of the Day, advertising crisps, so I'm going for 26. Okay, well, let's have a look then, Ted. So when this photo of Steve Linex was taken, do you mean Gary Lineker, Reidy? No, Ted, Steve Linex. When this photo of Steve Linex was taken, he was 27 years old, so near, Ted, yet so far. Man needs to stick to selling roast chicken crisps. Mind you, with that poultry shortage. No, Ted, goodbye. See you next week, my furry friend. There is no poultry shortage. Buy your turkeys sensibly. There's enough for everyone. Who needs 2 turkeys? Huh? Where are you going to put them? They're not both going to fit in one oven, are they? Idiots. That, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Episode 58 is all done and dusted. I have to say, I've enjoyed this one. It's been a little bit back more to the old roots. I can't lie, I tried to get a little bit too clever with the show, and I think we've gone back to a bit of normal, to be honest. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed what you watched. If you did, I'd love you to click the subscribe down below. That's dead important, because it just makes it look like I'm a really popular channel and other people watch it. And if we can get other people watching it, happy days. If you did enjoy it, drop us a like, because they are very good and we like those. Hit your comments down below. Most importantly of all, don't forget to click the little bell, because that means you'll never miss another episode, because I hate it when you do that. It's very, very sad. But for now, people, it's ding ding. Next stop, Saturday the 16th of October for what will be episode 59. But for now, everybody, as always, stay safe, people.